What's up, all you good fellow fly guys? You know who it is, the Cat in the Hat, your resident fly guy, your chief architect, Michelangelo, StyleArchitects.com, here to help you redesign your frame of mind when it comes to the styling thing. And it's what to wear Wednesdays. Yo, I hope that you are showing up in style, but if you're not, if you're having some difficulty, that is exactly why we are here, to make sure that you are dressing yourself with the best of yourself. Now, today on What to Wear Wednesdays, I'm going to talk to you about how to recognize certain hallmarks of qualitative shirts. Now, before we begin, please understand that with any quality shirt or with anything that's quality, you're going to have to make an investment. So I always want you to make sure that you're getting your mind right when it comes to making these purchases. For a qualitative shirt, you're generally going to be looking at somewhere within the ballpark of $90 to about $175 for that shirt. And 90 is going to be the super low end of a quality shirt. So before you even step out, have your mind right that you're going to have to make this investment for these shirts. And like I've told you before, that's the one thing that I think that you should make an investment in after your shoes. Your shoes and your shirts are the two things that you're going to have the most contact with, and so they should feel good, they should be able to allow for movement, and they should express the very best you that you can be. Then you can start building on those other elements of your style, and making sure that those things are qualitative. So if you can get with that, try that on, and it fits you, then let's go ahead and talk about 3 hallmarks that are going to create a qualitative shirt. Now, this is going to be excluding the fit. Of course, we know that fit is a integral and major part of your purchases when you're buying any piece of clothing. But the first thing that you should pay attention to when you are looking for a quality shirt is the pattern alignment. Now, this is fine if it is a solid shirt, but a lot of guys are going out here and buying striped shirts, or they're buying check shirts, all those different types of things. If the seams are lining up, then that means generally that there was more time taken to put the piece together. Now, if you've ever seen any other type of shirt, you'll see that the lines on the shirt don't match. Sleeves may not match the yoke, or they don't match the chest, and so it makes the shirt look like it's off kilter. And sometimes this is done for design purposes, but for the most part, that just means that it was quickly put together and they didn't really pay attention to the details. So again, the details are where God or the devil lies. The second thing that you want to pay attention to is the stitching. Very tight stitches on your shirt are going to speak to the density, to the construction of that piece. And because of that, not only does that make the garment more secure, but it also speaks to craftsmanship when somebody can keep a straight line with more stitches in their shirt. Now, there are some other elements to that. I'm not going to go too deep when we're just starting out our conversation with shirts. So the next thing that I would tell you to pay attention to is a collar. You know, we've talked about the importance of collars, but when it comes to the construction of your shirt, the thing to pay attention to is whether the collar is fused or it is soft. Now, today, most guys tend to like soft collars. They feel better when you're wearing them. They're not as constricting. But most people are still using fused collars, and fused means glued. And if you've heard any one of our other previous videos, then you know that fused is going to speak to gluing. And the problem with gluing is the more you wash them, the more heat that you put on, the more likely they are to come apart. When anything is glued and it is forced to deal with a lot of heat, then it is going to come undone. The problem there is when it comes undone, it's still getting hit with heat, so it's going to change how the collar looks over time, and generally very quickly, considering we launder our shirts much more than we do suits or other garments. And so because of that, you start to have puckering, and puckering is when you have those creases and you have all that excess fabric on your shirt. Well, it's really not excess, it's because the glue has come undone from the shirt, and because of that, it ends up making the shirt look cheap, and you usually are going to have to throw it out. When it's non-fused and they allow it to be what's called floating or just sewn in, then that fabric is free to move as it needs to reconform itself once heat is taken, or once it's contracting after it's cooling down. So because of that, you're going to have longer wear, and it's going to feel more comfortable. Now, the last thing that I'm going to talk about is something that a lot of guys do not pay attention to, and that's the buttons. Generally speaking, when you have a cheaper piece, you're going to have plastic buttons. Plastic buttons are cool when you're buying a $30 shirt. When you're buying a $125 shirt or $150 shirt, they generally try to add better buttons. And the reason why this is so important is because when you're ironing or pressing, or the dry cleaner is pressing your clothing, these pearlized buttons, which are usually going to be mother of pearl, are going to hold up better, they're going to look better, and they're going to be thicker, so that means that they have more durability. So as I was saying, when it comes to holding up, they'll be able to stand the test of times. So when it comes to quality shirts, the biggest thing is actually longevity. It's not necessarily the look. It's you getting the return on the investment that you've made. And so a lot of guys are saying, well, I'm just going to go buy this $30 shirt or this $40 shirt. And they don't realize that mentally what they're doing is they're saying it'll be $30 or $40. So if it gets messed up, I'm not really worried about it. If I don't like it, in a week, I don't really have to worry about it. But that's a waste of your money. If you have to spend or make an investment into the shirts that you're buying, what you are in fact doing is saying, I have to think about whether I'm going to wear this long term. I have to think about whether this is going to be something that I'm going to want long term. And once you do that, then you've started on the path to really developing and cultivating your style. No longer worried about what everybody else is doing, but focused on you. And I guarantee you, when you do that, you will always feel better and you will be stepping out in style. So that's it. You can try that on, see how it fits you. Question of the day: what do you consider quality when it comes to your shirts? I would love to hear your thoughts. Make sure you leave those in the comment box. Please make sure that you share this with a friend. You never know. They may need it. They may be going out and buying a shirt this weekend. And lastly, please make sure that you subscribe if you are feeling the vibe. We're here every Monday through Friday at 12:30 p.m. to ensure that you are redesigning your frame of mind when it comes to the styling thing. And please, don't ever forget that dress is nothing more than the expression of a man's state of mind, so you should always dress to express. I'll see you tomorrow. Peace.